Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. My name is Kim and this is Q&A Thursday where you ask me questions and I answer them. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. I'm doing okay. I actually just had to start all over. Didn't get too far into it though, okay? Didn't get to answer a question, but I started all over because I had a mishap here with the recording. So I said, let me just start my intro over and we could go on ahead and just get through it. So I hope you're taking care of yourselves. I hope you are engaging in some self-care, emotional, physical, spiritual, psychological, all that stuff. Okay? Because it is rough out here these days. And it's important to ensure and be aware of where you are mood-wise, how you're taking care of yourselves, how you are coping through this intense, energetic time. Okay? And remember that we have to trust our intuition and we have to trust what we don't see, even though that can be very difficult. And we have to remember we're going up. Okay? The only way is to go up. The only way is to go up. Anyway, I'm doing okay. I've been focused on myself this week. I've been very, I got what I was, I got what I have been thinking of and contemplating, being very much in touch with my, everything feels aligned, which is interesting, physical, spiritual, mental. So that's interesting for me. Anyway. I have not been really aware of what's been going on this week. That's not true. That's not fully true. I've been kind of like dipping in and out, not really in it like that, because I've just been working and just focus on my own well-being, which is what we all need to do. But energetically, I talked about when I pulled for the week ahead. And I talked about how this is a spiritual week. It does feel like that. And now that I'm sitting here and checked in, it does feel to me like very spiritual week. I think a lot of people have been thinking about existential stuff, I've noticed. Just with the people I work with and just my own thinking about my own stuff, and it does feel like it doesn't feel intense. It feels light despite what's going on energetically. I'm talking, guys, okay? So that's the things we don't see. That's the thing, the energy feels a little lighter for some reason this week. But that aside, I hope you are doing it despite what they want for us, how they want us to be. We have to trust our intuition. We have to take care of ourselves, and we have to forge ahead. They don't want us to forge ahead, okay? So you guys asked me some questions. I'm going to try and answer them. Also, for Snap, if you are someone who gets Snap, and if you don't get your benefits this upcoming month, just make sure I'm gonna post a website, but make sure you at least know where your local food banks are. Okay, they're there are a lot of resources out there. Yes, the resources can be limited, but it's important at least to know what is available to you. Because the thing about it is, a lot of people don't know what's available to them. Okay, and they're in their location, near their location, around their location. Okay, so I'll gather that information and post that up. Okay, all right, let's start. Now, I got to the first question, but I didn't answer it. The first question is about someone named Heather Honey. Okay, and this woman, she's an election denier. Thank you, Infinite Curly Fries, for letting me know who she was, because I don't know these people. Okay. But it says, can you read on Heather Honey and see if she will be successful in rigging things to override state laws regarding voting. So they have a election integrity bullshit, excuse my language. I'm sorry. This is me. She's the secretary, what is she? Deputy Assistant Secretary for Election, which is funny, election integrity. So they want to cheat and how to figure out how to continue to cheat. Okay, before I get into anything, everything I say here is for entertainment purposes only. Everything I say here is for informational purposes only. Everything I say here is allegedly, even in the comments. Okay, all right. So I mean, will she be successful? Okay. I'm hearing no, she won't be successful. In fact, she may be sued. Like, a lot of people will challenge this thing she's trying to do. This voting emergency, but whatever that is. It's probably a thing. I don't know. But it's not done with integrity. And, let's see the visual, and then I'll pull a card or two. Well, Will Heather, and what a name, What a great name to have. And you're that kind of person. Heather Honey. Anyway. Could have been a preschool teacher with that name. You hear the bells? Okay, will she be successful in cheating? An election integrity failure? No. Clear the center, please. Will she be sued? Will they be sued for this kind of activity? Okay. I'm just fixing this deck. Where's these cards? I'd be swearing I'd be fixing these decks, putting everything up right. Everything's upside down here. How annoying is that, huh? Okay, sorry guys, bear with me. I don't know. Show me the outcome of this thing. This election integrity. Is that up? Is that upside down? Ten of Pentacles in reverse. Oh, that's not good. What's that? The Fool? The Fool upright. Oh my goodness, that's too many. What's going on with my hands? It's all in reverse. You have the Ace of Wands, the Devil. It's too much energy. Come on. Come on, hands. Let me spray and clear the... Okay. Let's shuffle with some gusto here. Strength on the bottom. King of Cups. King of Wands. Knight of Swords. Ace of Swords. Five of Swords. Yeah, winning at all costs, I bet. Four of Swords. The Hermit. Six of Swords. A lot of swords. Four of Pentacles. Death. The Moon. Strength. The Lovers. Major cards. Then they've fallen out. That's the cards. The Lovers. Strength. I know what the message is here. I know what the message is. This is about truth. Look at all these swords. Knight of Swords, Ace of Swords, Four of Swords, Six of Swords. Five of Swords. It's about truth and not wanting to let go of power. It's about trying to win at all costs and causing conflict. But truth is going to win out because you have, and you have the Death card here. You have the King of Cups and the King of Wands. And that's their energy with the Four of Pentacles here. And the Five of Swords here is their energy. Five of Swords is always a warning. It's like, yeah, you would do anything. You will cut corners. That's what they're trying to do with this thing. But these other surrounding cards is a very there's a message here to this energy. With the Hermit, with Strength, with Death, with the Lovers. The Lovers and the Hermit are two different cards and, you know, very different energy, but it's sort of under the same, you know, the Hermit is also about roguery and dissonance and Ten of Pentacles in reverse. Four Swords underneath that. You know, Ten of Pentacles is about your legacy. It's in reverse, so it's a, you know, your legacy is a farty dirt patch. You're the Fool surrounded by all of these here. They're trying. Look at Strength. They're trying to force something, a change that, you know. When the Strength energy is there and you're trying to be very forceful and obvious, when you have the Four of Pentacles and the Five of Swords energy there with the Strength card there, it's like you're doing too much. You're not going to be, it's going to be hard for you because you're trying to force something here. You're trying to cut corners. That is the message. Because you're doing too much, you're going to fail. Because you're in the Fool's energy. The Fool energy is not a bad card necessarily, but I've learned about the Fool that it can also be very tricky, and that when the Fool's energy is there sometimes in a reading, when it's not supposed to be there because you're doing some fuck shit. Excuse my language. You're doing things you're not supposed to. And it's reckless and it's stupid, and you should be not trying to win at all costs, because there's always a cost. When you have the Hermit here, when you have Strength here, when you have Death here, when you have the Ace of Swords. So the answer is no. They'll try, but it's really going to be called out. It's really going to be it's like you try to horn your way in on states elections, and if it's the right state, they'll be like, get out of here with that bullshit. And that's what is in this cards. With the Strength card there, the message is clear, and the Fool together. Okay, I hope y'all picking up what I'm putting down here. They always say, make declarations, and then they're like, get sued because you can't you can't do that. And you take notice, you see what they did with the student loans. Now student loan forgiveness is back. The Supreme Court opened that and said you can't do that. Okay, so now that's back, thank goodness. Because I only have couple of, anyway, but well, you see how they rule. If it's something that is broader and it benefits a broader audience, broader citizens, they will rule against this person. But if it has something to do with brown people or race, you know how it's going to be ruled. Anyway, child, Okay, so next question. Let me just read it first. All right, next question is from EFH2024. Will Maxwell's sentence be commuted, or something similar to allow her out? How about P. Diddy? What will happen with that 40 billion? All right, you're asking more than one question. That last question is funny. All right, these are too many questions. Okay. You can only ask the one question. Okay. I'll answer the first one. You're going to have to save those other ones for other Q&As. When Diddy got arrested, I always said, first of all, I said he's a really, really unwell person mentally. There's no excuse, but just clinically I could see that he was not a well person, and energetically. And I said, he's not going to get the type of punishment people think he's going to get. I knew he wouldn't get the type of consequence he deserves. Maxwell's sentence won't be commuted because that's too dangerous for him. I mean, again, he does what he wants. I sense in the energy, and this is what I'm being told, that no, it will be really bad. Really, really bad. The optics. They've considered it. That's why they moved her to the minimum, which is insane. You know, well, I ain't gonna talk about that. Because I said I would not talk about the survivors. But seeing cognitive dissonance in real time with one of the survivors. Okay. There's something he considered it, but he was talked out of it. The people around him had to convince him and said the optics look bad. He wanted to, though. Let's see the visual. Did Donald Trump want to commute Maxine? Why do I always want to call her that? Glazine. Maxwell's sentence. Did he want to commute? Yes, he did. That would be, ooh, I kind of almost want him to do it. The way his supporters would be so angry, that would be like, but then again, when I look at the Donald Trump energetically, he doesn't care. Why does it matter? Sometimes I'm like, when people talk about, it doesn't matter because he's there, and you see what he was judged as. He owed that lady that money because he assaulted her. Yeah, here we are in the group chats. Who keeps exposing all these group chats? I want to know who's doing that. Will he commute her? Or you could just tell me, why he reconsidered. Whichever you want to show me. Very interesting. Very interesting. It'll turn into reverse. Very interesting. Ace of Wands, the Fool, the Devil. Nope. 8 of Wands, the Devil. It kind of looks like a yes. I don't think that's what they're telling me. Four of Wands in reverse. Page of Wands. 10 of Cups. The Emperor. 7 of Swords in reverse. Very interesting. 3 of Cups. They know this is his energy. He would have done it if they didn't convince him otherwise. He don't give a shit. Is it off the table? Yes, it is. I think her last appeal was denied. he's not going to do it because it really doesn't benefit him. It doesn't benefit him releasing her, commuting her sentence. He considered it very strongly, though, but he was convinced that it would be a disaster. It would be like you are just saying, I'm guilty. You are just saying that those things that we destroyed, you know. I feel like they know, I feel like they destroyed a lot of evidence, or I sense rather that they did, but there's some things out there that's not in their possession that they know, or fear even that there might be something to come out. But where, who got it, and why isn't it out? You got the Emperor and the Devil in the same. You have the Seven of Swords in reverse. That was him changing his mind. And the people, the advisors telling him, in the Department of Trump, telling him, I don't know, Mr. President, because he was down for whatever. The Fool is here, Ace of Wands. You got the Four of Wands in reverse. That's what they're saying. Like, the Seven of Wands in reverse, the Seven of Swords in reverse. Eight of Cups. The Devil next to the Eight of Cups. Nah, she not getting out. She really doesn't believe she did nothing wrong. Now as for Diddy, he thought he was getting out. Like, he thought, I knew he wasn't going to get a steep, because I just knew as soon as he was arrested, I was like, it's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult to prove because of the way people think about women. You have to be near pure in order to get any justice. That's just a harsh reality. That's why they always attack women's, sexual past or history or the situation, So I knew they were not going to charge him or find him guilty of a lot. He wasn't going to get a lot of consequence. I said that at the beginning. As soon as he got arrested, I was like, nah, I don't know. He's not going to, Trump said he's considering commuting this man's sentence. And the interesting thing about Diddy is that he thought he was going to get off scot-free. He didn't think he was going to get any jail time. He literally had things planned, like interviews and concerts. Like, how arrogant can you be? And then he's like, how arrogant, the audacity. And then he's like falling out in a chair when he gets sentenced. Like, sir, you only have to do 3 years. Calm down. Take your little measly prison sentence for the horrible things you've done. You should get more. And you're going to do it again. He's going to do it again. Whew, child. Anyway. Okay, let's see. I'm hearing a no. He's not Trump's like, oh, well, he's considering it, but when he says that, he's not going to do it. When he says that, considering it, he's not going to. I don't feel that. I don't see it. it would just be interesting to see where he would go. Like, he's not really, yes, he has mental health issues. He's very, very, at the time of his arrest, was very unwell, but you also, it's beyond that. You got some problems. You got some problems. He has a choice. He might. It's a maybe. I don't know. I feel like, wait, I have to shuffle this again because these are the same cards. But he might. I'm in Trump's energy, and it's just the cards that come out are so not in reality. I always know when I tap into his energy, it just feels like a folly. The sun came out, I mean, show me and above his energy, please. Could be a maybe though. Let's see what happens here. Justice is on the bottom. And 8 of Swords in reverse. There's a lot of cards in reverse there. It's telling me just to pull the World in reverse, 9 of Swords in reverse, the Chariot, Strength, 8 of Wands. This may be. He might. 6 of Pentacles. Yeah, most definitely might. But he's not sure. 7 of Cups in reverse. Yeah, he hasn't decided. It's a maybe for Diddy. But Glazane, no. Okay, next question. From Bonnie R. What impact will the release of Virginia G's book Nobody's Girl have on the Epstein case? Those who are exposed political. Okay, I mean, the interesting thing about it is that this woman has told her story so many times, and I don't understand. Are people not listening to it? These women have shouted from the rooftops. Shouted. Cried. Been tortured. Have harmed themselves. Have said this is, and it has been confirmed that yes, they have been. Still no impact. So that's why I get so frustrated about talking about this, because I think sometimes we miss the point. We want justice for them, sure, but point's always missed entirely. This won't change the political landscape. The answer is no, but let's see the impact of her book. I know what it will do. Other survivors will read her book and feel seen. People who may not know the story will be aghast and say, wow. People who will want the truth and look at this woman's story. But as for the political landscape, no. Knight of Wands. Tower. Shaking things up, that's for sure. Tower on the bottom. 6 of Wands. Support. Queen of Cups. 8 of Swords. A lot of feminine energy. The Empress. It will most definitely make an impact. Here we have the Four of Wands. We have the Nine of Swords, Scandal. Lots of information. They will try to quiet, but the Tower's there. Tower's about shaking things up. Okay. Six of Pentacles, support. People will be supporting. People will be reading. I see no swords here yet. Outside the nine. You know what? The Nine of Swords. Social media. Scandal. People will be sharing. Some people's worst nightmare. I mean, the Nine of Swords. The Hangman. People's perspectives will be changed. It'll be a slow burn. The ultimate outcome. It will definitely shake things up big time. Seven of Swords, you know, but as for the political landscape, no. It will not. It'll have a different sort of impact. A big impact. But I'm not sure, you know. It'll be big though. It'll get a lot of attention and it'll shake up a lot. But I don't, you know, it'll be more for women and survivors. I don't see politics in these cards. You know what I mean? That won't be what makes things move forward. Absolutely not. Because it would have been. It would have been. Next question. What time is it? Next question is Lotus Queen 26. Hi, Kim, will Elon still the beans and spill the beans? Oh, I was like, he's planning on stealing beans? Seems like his, you know, MO. Will he spill the beans and work with... No, he will not do that. Lotus Queen to help? No. Take her rightful place? No. Never. He'll be arrested, but he won't. Next question. Laura M. Can you read on the administration giving guided missiles what is that word? I can't. Let me put my glasses on. Guided missiles and warheads to ICE. He's increased the spending on ICE by 700%. Or is that 7,000? And people are about to starve. Look at this. I know someone commented about me laughing, and y'all have to understand. It was only one comment. I'm laughing. I don't even have to explain myself. Look up Buddha laugh and then get back to me. Okay? It's either laugh or cry. Y'all don't want me up here crying, do you? That wasn't help. Oh yeah, warheads. Warheads. Tell me about that. Can someone let me consult? Why would they need warheads? Who are they going to war with? It's not. It's not accurate. Now they increased the budget by 700%. They took it from somewhere, obviously, because they don't care about how things go. And it seems like anyway. But warhead, okay. I mean, I don't think that's true. I don't. Two of Cups in reverse. When I look at them, I don't sense that in the energy. I don't sense that. If he's trying to make them a military, that'd be interesting. See how that goes down. That would be interesting. Chariot. Strength again. These same cards. The Star. Knight of Cups. I don't even know what I'm asking. The Tower. No. No. They're trying to battle. Sure. He's trying to do something. Yeah. But the answer is no, because the Star is here. The Tower is the last card here. No. They're not. I just feel, you guys, I be reading on these things, and like we see things in the news and we're like, oh, it's horrible, but I just be seeing total collapse. That's what I be seeing. Don't get me wrong, I'm not unaffected, like I just be like, oh goodness, but I just be like, I'm not naive either of what could happen, but it's just too difficult here. It's still, the chaos is going to be here, is what I see as a road to the end of this. But I just see people really pushed to the brink, which on one hand was what they might be waiting for, which is why they're increasing. Like, I can't see what this is, this mess, because energetically we're not there yet, because we have a path, fork in the road. As he still has to go. He still has to go. He will go. Okay. Next question. Moy. Hi, Kim. Will people see the relationship between the destruction of the White House and the destruction of our democracy by 45 anytime soon? I think a lot of people see it already. $200 million ballroom, and then you, in the same breath, announce that, hey, y'all not getting your benefits. But we got this golden... Yes is the answer. Next question. D, he said today that Social Security, HUD, and Medicaid will be shut down. Can you ask the pendulum if this will happen? No, it won't happen. No. No is the answer. Every hospital will close in the whole United States because that's where they get the most of their funding. A lot of people don't know that. That's how they survive. It's Medicaid, Medicare. Which I advise y'all to just call y'all local government and ask those questions, but no. Next question, Gray Raven Tarot. Will our courts finally grow a spine and start defying the Supreme Court unconstitutional rulings? I'm not sure they could do that. I'm not sure how that works. Can you reverse the Supreme Court is the highest court in the land? Let me Google. I don't know. I can't just be like, yeah, energetically, because even in my intuition, I can't answer you. I have to know. So it says no, lower courts cannot overrule the Supreme Court. We kind of, I get it, but it's not about growing a spine. It's not about that. They literally can't. Now, what you have seen is the courts people have been suing the Trump administration in their policies, and it gets tied up in court, and the lower courts have been ruling in favor of those who are trying to stop these harmful policies. Okay? It's not about the courts growing a spine. You can't overrule the Supreme Court. Part of democracy in the judicial system, I guess. But you can't. All right. Michelle J., what happens to Justice is coming. I remember Kama reading. What happened? I don't know if she said that. That's what she actually said. Justice is coming, though. Just maybe not in the way we suspect. Next question. Shorty. Hi, Kim. Hope all is well. Will this phase of anti-intellectualism go away? Woo, child. People get triggered when you smart. Interestingly enough, my spirit guides are like, Frederick and Edgar are like, yes, it will. There's something, it's like they're saying dawn of time. What does that mean? Frederick is saying people will read it. People will read again. That's his voice. People will read again. People will seek the truth. People will begin to critically think. Despite the barriers, AI is interesting because, it's terrible for the environment. It has a lot of red flags. And people use it because they don't want to think. Some people use it to learn. Some people, it's so, it's a problem. It's a problem. And it's also, but it's not an anti-intellectual tool, which is interesting also at the same time. So yes, it will. Yes, there'll be a movement, like in the energy. My guides are showing me something that is like, it feels good. This question and the answer to the question feels good because people will be reading and learning and sharing information. And this goes back to the shutting down of like propaganda and all that stuff. Putting restrictions and regulations on it. This is a few years from now, but we won't end up like Idiocracy. Watch that movie. We're kind of there. Watch that movie if you have not watched that movie. It's very funny, but kind of, imitating what's happening now. The answer is yes. We'll get out of that. In this lifetime, too. Absolutely in this. And it will start when I channeled, I forgot who she was, who I channeled. I forgot her name. She was a writer, a poet, an artist. And she said to me, what is her name? But if any of you who have been watching me, she said to me, the way that we will also resist will be through creativity and art and writing, because some of the best art comes from tragic things, tragedy, hard times. That's when people feel, I think, the most inspired. People will reject AI. Okay, so it's happening now in this lifetime. You see, there's so many. I've noticed there's a lot of books and a lot of stories and a lot of films that have been coming out. Has been very good, original, So yes, we will move away from that. Okay. The next question is Brianna J. Hello, Kimberly. How are you doing this week? I'm doing okay. First question, how are the federal workers dealing with the madness and no pay? Will there be a financial retribution for them before 2026? Will the White House be torn down? I mean, listen, and rebuilt. I don't know why. I know y'all upset about the White House being torn down, but I don't. It doesn't. No, it won't be torn down, but I don't see that. I don't know why it would be funny to me. Slaves built it. How do federal workers feel? Are they showing up to work? Because I sure wouldn't. How do they feel? What's the energy surrounding federal workers? 9 of Wands. Some of them are persisting, not giving up. There's a piece of hair here. 9 of Wands. Yes, the end is near for them. They will get there before 2026, yes. But the 9 of Wands there, okay? That means you're at, you're at the end to where you still have a little bit to go, but check out my last I read on the government shutdown. Queen of Wands, 4 Cups, Page of Wands, the Lovers. I'm gonna put it face down. It's 10 of Pentacles, King of Wands, King and Queen, Death. They ain't playing. You got veterans at food banks. You got the economy just doing terrible. You got, man, can you people are fed up. People are fed up. They can't get that bill passed. They cannot get that bill passed, the GOP. They can't do it. They cannot do it. They can't, because they don't know how to govern. They don't know how to govern. They are such failures, and it's showing. And people are seeing that they are failures. The energy surrounding the federal workers, there's 3 wands here. King, Queen, and the Page of Wands. And they may be, some of them may be looking for other work. It's like, I'm getting out of here. But listen, they like their federal jobs at the same time. Some of them may be holding on. I know it's a struggle. But they have a choice, though, with the Lovers here. They may be like, I'm out with Death there. A lot of them may be deciding to find another job. That's what it kind of feels like. Some are staying because it's a federal job, good benefits. Some are I can tell you there's a lot of anger and spiciness here with the King and Queen of Wands. Some maybe may have been prepared for this, and this decision they have to stay or go. What's the decision? Give me, because the Two of Wands is here at the bottom. Some may have already had a plan to like the Lovers. The Sun, yeah. They'll be okay. The Two of Wands, that's it. The Two of Wands. And the Eight of Pentacles on the bottom, yeah. Some may have had contingency plans in place. Some are waiting. The Lovers here. Some are just waiting to be paid. Like, they're not going to leave their job. Some are staying with the Nine of Wands. But I also see some people, most are staying. I also see some people moving on. I don't know what I would do. I would probably quit and find a new job. I don't know. I know them federal jobs and benefits. And benefits be good. For sure. Okay. Next question. Infinite Curly Fries. How's the energy of the shutdown looking? Not sure how true this is. Check out my video from Monday. I feel like I'm just gonna pull 2 cards. Democrat energy regarding the shutdown. What's their energy? What's the energy surrounding them? Somnosaurus, not the greatest, the strongest. Not the strongest. The Magician on the bottom. Listen, 7 and 7. They are of one accord, the Three of Cups. They are defending. King of Swords. Eight of Cups. They're standing their ground. Is it the strongest ground with the Seven of Swords there? No. But they're standing in one accord with Three of Cups. King of Swords. A lot of intellectual power there. A lot of clarity. They're clear in their agenda. I could say that. Let's look at Republicans. They can't get that thing passed for the life of them. They can't get nothing passed. I just saw it. They can't pass that bill in the Senate. It didn't go through. A lot of Republicans know this will be the death of them if they let that thing, even though they're, it will be bad for them too. They know it deep down in their spirits, because they know what they do to their own people in their red states. They know what they do to them. So they don't take care of them like they're supposed to. There you go with that Fool energy. What is that? Queen of Cups. King. There they go again. Knight of Swords. Trying to be strategic, but impulsive. There's an impulsive, reckless energy here, Okay. Three of Swords. Ten of Swords. Hierophant. Hermit. And it's that King of Pentacles. Queen of Swords. They have the Queen. The Democrats have the King. They're not getting what they want. Look, the thing just failed again in the Senate. It's just Three of Swords. They're almost at an end though. Ten of Swords. They had a fork in the road. They have to make some concessions. They got to surrender to some things. Okay. They're definitely being reckless. And but it feels like the Queen of Pentacles, they're trying to get the upper hand on some things. Being very spicy. Okay. There's a standstill though. Alright. Oh, what happened? Okay. Last question. I'll answer quickly. Lucas, long time no see. Hey Kim, hope you're doing good. I was wondering if there is some kind of meaning connected to our fingerprints. I think so. Yes. Our fingerprints. Yes. They tell the story. Even our whole hand. But I keep hearing they tell the story of our lives. I wonder if there's like fingerprint readings. I know they do palm. Is the fingerprints a part of palm reading? Okay. Alright guys, that's all I got. Please like this video, subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Maybe. I'm not sure. But have a good weekend. If I don't see you Friday, you'll definitely see me over the weekend. Okay. But like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys again soon. Bye.